In my last video, I explained about the importance of having a balanced diet to optimize muscle building and fat loss. But the big question is, where should you source your macros from? Doesn't matter whether you get your carbohydrates from sweets or oats, your protein from beef or chicken, or your fat from potato chips or avocados. Answering these questions entails that you first understand the importance of micronutrients and the pros and cons of these two dieting approaches, clean eating and if it fits your macros. Coming up. Clean eating is about eating whole foods that are minimally processed or refined and are as close to nature as possible. Unfortunately, clean eating nowadays means different things to different people, and people tend to modify it to fit their own beliefs, personal experiences, and irrational fears. Needless to say, in a world where marketers constantly claim their food products to be healthy, it is hard to know how to make the best choice. The irrational and pseudoscientific obsession with only eating healthy foods encourages disordered eating habits. When you have no rational basis for your eating decisions, you start exaggerating the potential dangers of certain food and eliminating more and more food from your diet based on poor evidence. You keep fighting years and years in the name of clean eating, only to end up with binging and overindulgence in your cravings. Finally, clean eating does not always help you lose fat. This is one of the big 5 dieting myths that I talked about in this video. You can be the cleanest eater in the world, yet still be weak and skinny fat. This brings me to the second dieting approach, the IIFYM, or if it fits your macros. If it fits your macros or flexible dieting is a method of dieting that centers around meeting your macro targets for muscle building and fat loss, regardless whether you eat clean or dirty. In other words, you focus on how much you eat and pay no attention to food quality. The disadvantage of IIFYM is pretty much the opposite of clean eating, whereby eaters tend to cram as much junk food as possible into their macronutrient threshold and become so meticulous in every food's nutritional information and in counting their calories. In the long run, IIFYM dieters would end up struggling with the balance of life and their relationships with food, gym, family, and friends. Another disadvantage is the issue of micronutrients, which processed foods lack. The World Health Organization refers to micronutrients, so-called because they are only needed in small amounts, as the magic wands that enable the body to produce enzymes, hormones, and other substances essential for proper growth and development. Remember that food is more than a mere source of protein, carbohydrate, and fat. It is also your source of the vital micronutrients. Micronutrients are of 2 types, vitamins and minerals. No single food contains all of the vitamins and minerals we need, which is why a balanced diet is necessary for an adequate intake. Vitamins are organic nutrients that are essential for the human body's physiological functions and are mainly obtained from food, as most of them are not made in the body or are made only in sufficient amounts. Humans need 13 different vitamins, which are classified as water-soluble and fat-soluble. Water-soluble vitamins play a key role as cofactors with enzymes involved in metabolism. With the exception of vitamins B6 and B12, water-soluble vitamins cannot be stored in the body and are readily excreted in urine. Hence, they must be replaced every day. Fat-soluble vitamins are found in fat-containing foods and are stored in the liver or adipose tissue until needed. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, fat-soluble vitamins are kept in the body for an extended period of time before they are excreted in the feces, which is why they need not be consumed as often as water-soluble vitamins. In fact, fat-soluble vitamins need to be taken in moderation because excessive amounts could be toxic to the body. This table shows the recommended daily requirements of vitamins for men, which is expressed in terms of recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, is an estimated intake amount of a nutrient per day, considered by the Food and Nutrition Board of the Institute of Medicine to be sufficient to meet the requirements of 97.5% of healthy individuals in early life stage. Adequate intake, or AI, is another reference value used when an RDA of a nutrient cannot be determined. Minerals are inorganic nutrients that play a key role in ensuring health and well-being, such as regulating enzyme activity, maintaining acid-base balance, and assisting with strength and growth. They exist in small quantities in the body and are obtained from a wide variety of food. They are categorized as macrominerals and microminerals. Macrominerals or bulk elements are needed in large amounts, 100 milligrams or more per day, and include calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, sulfur, sodium, chloride, and potassium. This table shows the RDAAI for the main macrominerals. Microminerals or trace elements are needed in small amounts, less than 100 milligrams per day, and include chromium, copper, iron, fluoride, iodine, manganese, molybdenum, selenium, and zinc. See, there is more to the diet equation than simply staying within your range of macros. Eating whatever you desire without giving any regard to the quality of your calories can be detrimental. The nutritional content of the overly processed and fast food is very poor, putting people who regularly eat it at a higher risk of nutrient deficiency. The more often people eat fast food, the higher their calorie consumption and the lower their micronutrient intake is likely to be. Eating such low-quality food could potentially increase inflammation and oxidative stress, which in turn could increase the risk of health conditions, including cancer and heart disease. Furthermore, an increased consumption of high glycemic carbohydrates, which break down rapidly and trigger a large spike in blood sugar and insulin levels, is associated with an increased risk of chronic disease. So if focusing only on food quality as a clean eater or only on food quantity as an IIFYM dieter, both have their disadvantages. How should you eat? Well, the optimal solution would be by taking the best of both worlds. Just follow the 80-20 rule by consuming at least 80% of your daily calories from healthy micronutrient-dense foods and at most 20% from junk or sugary foods that you desire. Certain foods make it easier to lose or gain weight due to their volume and caloric density. Healthy foods are good for weight loss because they are relatively low in calories and high in volume, which makes them satiating. Examples of such foods include lean meats, whole grains, high-fiber fruits, vegetables, and low-fat dairy. On contrary, unhealthy foods are high in calories and low in volume and satiety. The more you eat these foods, the more you get hungry and overeat. Examples of such foods include beverages, sweets, oils, butter, bacon, low-fiber fruits, and whole-fat dairy products. Turning over to you now. How many of your calories come from healthy foods? Do you follow the 80-20 rule? Let me know by commenting below. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and share. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're looking for a complete self-educational training guide that teaches you step by step how to customize your workout and meal plans using science-based methods to help you achieve the best results, please visit my website or check this video. Also check my next 2 videos on the 5 big dieting myths that you should be wary of and the importance of balancing your macros in your diet as a bodybuilder.